Nigerians, this is the biggest story trending right now. The biggest story trending right now on Twitter. It is trending everywhere. I don't know if you guys have seen the trending story. If you have not seen the story, let me bring you up to speed. So according to the story, this guy here, his name is Joshua, but people call him Zidane. Like Zidane is his nickname. You don't understand? So in 2019, this Zidane was arrested and sent to prison by El-Rufai. El-Rufai arrested this Zidane and threw him to prison without any trial. So what did this Zidane do that made El-Rufai arrest him and sent him to prison? So according to the story, they say this Zidane, he formed a team, you don't understand, he formed a cartel to protect his people. Like the people of Adara has been suffering from this Fulani terrorist invasion. Every time Fulani terrorists will just spam, they attack, then they do this. So this Zidane stood up and they formed a team to protect the people of Adara. Now, anytime the people of the Fulani terrorists comes to attack the Adara community, Zidane and his people becomes a stumbling block to them. Like they are always on ground to defend their people. So the Fulani people were tired of Zidane because they couldn't break past him at all. Now they tried to unalive him directly. They tried, but all their attempts proved abortive. So what did they do next? They went back and cried to El-Rufai. They cried to El-Rufai, and that is when El-Rufai sent military to pick up Zidane. They tortured him and sent him to prison without any trial. The story is trending right now, and on Twitter, people are tagging El-Rufai to come and defend himself there. So people are tagging him to come and say his own side of the story. Because, bro, how can you be defending your people from the Fulani invasion? Defending your people from the Fulani invasion. Now, they arrest you and they throw you to prison without trial. And that story also confirmed that today, the people of Adara is vulnerable to attack. They say Fulani people has been entering and going out, enter anytime they want, go out, buy people, go out, do all sorts of nonsense and go out. Because why? There is no more Zidane. No Zidane. And nobody again to take the place of Zidane to defend their people. You don't understand? So the people of Adara community are crying now because no warrior like Zidane to defend them.
You see, El-Rufai is somebody who doesn't know Kaduna State very well. He has never been a friend of the people of Southern Kaduna. His sojourn in Kaduna has been largely between Zaria and Kaduna town. So he has no understanding about the southern part of Kaduna. But having said that, he had a latent Fulani supremacist ideology, psychology. And he saw the people of southern Kaduna as enemies of the Fulanis. Put in mind that he was the one that said whoever killed a Fulani man, had incurred a debt that he must pay, no matter how long it took. So he came trying to implement that kind of Fulani psychology. He claimed he's a Fulani. So he came to, further the interests of the Fulanis. And under his watch, the frequency and the spread of the violence became so rampant. The impunity became so unbelievable, so bizarre, that you will wonder if there was actually a government in place. And to the shock of the world, El-Rufai will come out and blame the victims and insult Christian leaders as responsible for instigating the violence with the aim of, procuring foreign aid to rebuild what he said, thousands of churches. That it was the Christians themselves that were carrying out that violence so that they were attracted. That kind of heinous comment from a governor it was unprecedented. And then it reached a peak in 2016, where he held a press conference. I was invited to that press conference and said that he was able to trace the Fulanis that were coming to Southern Kaduna and kill Southern Kaduna citizens. And that he had paid them money, which he called compensation, so that they would stop the killing. That was one of the stories that led me to jail. Because when my colleagues came back from the press conference, they didn't ever invite me to the press conference of El-Rufai. So I had to make do with what my colleagues will return from the fields and give. And I saw the video of his statement, and I asked them, I said, did you guys listen to this story at all? They said yes, but there was no point reporting it. I said, well, that's my story. So I wrote that story, and it became one of my biggest story in my 27 or 28 years of journalism. And so that exposed the nature of the seriousness with which El-Rufai was ready to connive with the Fulani people. And I tell you, shortly after he made the declaration of that payment, the violence became more intense. Some part of Sanga local government, some part of Jama local government, some part of Zango Kataf local government had to be deserted. In fact, the number of mass graves were increasing every day. The impunity of the Fulanis was raising daily, to the extent that the Fulanis will attack and then hold a press conference and explain why they had to attack a community. And none of them will be brought to justice. But our own people, who were traditional leaders, who were leaders of thought, journalists like us who will report, will be arrested and clamped in jail.
In other words, the press conference he had, he said he was able to trace and settle those people as compensation, triggered what was happening.
No, he didn't trigger it. We believe that they used that money to procure more arms, recruit more people, and return. He didn't declare how much he gave them, but we believe it was a very huge sum. And since he went to different countries to give them that money, so it means that they recruited more, foot soldiers who were now armed. And then because the frequency, the front with which they were attacking our people was unbelievable. So we believe that they use that money to procure more arms and recruit more people.
The thing running through my mind is, yes, El-Rufai was the governor there. There's the immunity. But now he's out of power. Has the Southern Kaduna people dragged him to court over this particular menace?
Unfortunately, that is one of the shame, I must say, that our people are exhibiting. El-Rufai is working as a free man and mouthing everywhere. The only challenge he got was that the former Kaduna State Camp chairman, Reverend Joseph Hayab, instituted a case, the ECOWAS court, challenging his, demolition of some churches. Nobody has gone to court to challenge El-Rufai for his utterances and for some of his clearly culpable acts, like the one he did in 2019, February 2019, where he came on live TV, he and Samuel Aran, to say that 62 Fulanis were killed by Adara natives, in a community in Maru, ward in Kajuru local government. And it was a clear instigation to the Fulanis. And because of the way that he was jailing journalists left and right, nobody had the courage to, make that investigation. So some journalists came from Abuja to verify that, and I was part of the team. When we went to the place that he claimed 62 people were killed and buried in a mass grave, we discovered that if you had to bury two children, that mass grave made me even carry them. So we went to the commissioner of police, one Ahmad Abdurrahman Ahmad, who coincidentally was my classmate at Kasu, where we were studying we're reading masters in peace and conflict studies, happily granted us an interview, and he rebuked El-Rufai for making that statement. He said, if anybody was to confirm whether there was a mass killing of Fulanis and buried in a mass grave, it was him. That there was no such thing, and that he had warned El-Rufai to stop making such unconfirmed statement. So it turned out that El-Rufai's statement was clearly out to instigate, and because of our own investigation, we discovered that it was the Fulanis that actually murdered 6 people in a village called Ngwamagaji in Iri, prior to a week to the claims of El-Rufai. And we saw the graves where they were buried, including a pregnant woman. And we saw it, and the villagers confirmed. We took photographs and all that. So El-Rufai was out as a champion, of the Fulanis, and he should have been brought to court. I don't know why the Southern Kaduna people, our lawyers, are unable to institute a case against him. And I think that is what has to be done in the lifetime of El-Rufai.
All right.
But we believe that if the federal government has the will to stop this carnage, it's very simple. And the DG of the DSS has came out with that solution, was it last 2 weeks, where he said, he gave example of 2 communities in Bauchi where these extremists came to invade them, and then the communities armed themselves and dealt with them, and they never returned. So if government will allow communities to arm themselves and even procure light arms under supervision and give this our youth, I am telling you, this banditry, as we call it, will stop within a week. But our youth have that capacity to do that.
Monster.
No, it can be done under supervision. When it happened in Bauchi, did it create any monster?
That's using civilian JTF.
Not only civilian, volunteer force, with the supervision of the military. After every operation, you return the weapons. There will be a census of the weapons, and even the bullets, how you use it. It can be done. It's simple as that.
Their kind of attack is more of a guerrilla kind of attack. They hit you, they run.
Where do they go to? The bushes. Our boys know the bushes.
Okay.
They will comb these bushes and get them out.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. So if government is really serious to stop this thing, get responsible youth, train them in their thousands. Let them come from the east, west, and south. A helicopter hovering in the air, drones, directly, and you will get these guys out. But it has become more like a lucrative business, where as long as this, violence subsists, the generals on grounds will always be making money. If not so, I don't see any reason why we cannot take care of these people.
All right, so I heard you say you have a master's in peace
and conflict studies. That's correct.
Yes. So, what do you think? Do you think matching them force for force or violence for violence is a solution, or there's another alternative peacefully that can be reached? The way forward now.
Okay. I don't know the ones we are talking about, because we have two types of, should I say, violent groups. The ones that are doing it out of an ideology, and the ones that are doing it, in fact, the ones that are doing it out of an ideology, the ones that are doing it out of grievance, the ones that are doing it out of pure criminality. So you have different approaches to them. The ones that are insurgents, like the IPOP, and then the ones that are fundamentalists, like the terrorists, ISWAP and Boko Haram, and then the ones that we see as criminals, the bandits, you cannot approach them the same way. Nobody should sit down with bandits and have any negotiations. It's like sitting down with armed robbers.
Who brought El-Rufai to BPE? It was Atiku. It was on Atiku's recommendation that he was brought into the PBE. It was on Atiku's recommendation when Obasanjo wanted to restore the FCT original plan. He wanted somebody that he felt was strong enough to withstand the heat. So he asked Atiku for advice, and Atiku recommended El-Rufai. In fact, by the time El-Rufai went to the Senate for clearance, the Senate refused to clear him. It took the intervention of this same Atiku for him to be cleared. So but what did he do? The first thing he did was to betray Atiku. He started fighting Atiku. Not just that, even in Obasanjo's book, Obasanjo has referred to him as, I have heard of how, and I'm quoting Obasanjo's book now, I have heard of how he ruthlessly savaged the reputation of his uncle, a man who was like, in the African setting, his foster father. I shredded when I heard the story of what he did to his half-brother in the Air Force, who is senior to him in age. This is what Obasanjo has said about El-Rufai. So El-Rufai is a pathological liar. He is so shameless. He says things that suits him when it suits him. I don't think that is right, that Nigerians should continue to listen to people like that. When it suited him, before 2015, he had said all sorts of derogatory things about Muhammad Buhari. But by 2015, when he wanted to be governor, he came and knelt down before Buhari, because he's nothing in Kaduna without Buhari. In fact, he is so unpopular. His unpopularity in Abuja was transferred to Kaduna because of the demolitions. If one of his benefactors, an uncle of his, who had served his people his parents very well, Justice Bashir Sambo, he helped the family very much. He's from Zaria like them.
In Nigeria, when you are in government, you eat, you keep quiet, and you come back and you remain silent. I don't think I had anything to hide in public service years. I still don't. And I know AG, that's what I call him, Bello Adoke, has nothing to hide. So you can write a book like that and hold your head high, because you know you did nothing wrong while holding public office. I appeal to those in power today to remember that their turn will come. Our turn always comes, but it goes. I want to congratulate my brother for this. I'm looking forward to reading the book because I really want to understand the role of various actors in this. Because I've had discussions on OPL 245 several times with President Buhari. I had special relationship with him. I had access to him. Everyone knows. And everyone also knows that Mohamed Bello Adoke was one of those that stood and persuaded President Jonathan to actually concede the 2015 election. So, we should actually thank him as the APC government of 2015.
My people, welcome back. I know many of you go down watch and listen to within all these persons who spoke in the video says concerning El-Rufai and the thing we'll be seeing them cause to the people of this country, especially Southern Kaduna. Though El-Rufai has a bad record in this country that he will even be ashamed of himself of coming out. Though all these politicians like El-Rufai, they don't have any shame. If not, a person like El-Rufai should be in jail by now. But the country we are here is not working. Not only our constitution itself, everything about this country called Nigeria is not working, because if all these things that happen now has to be another person, that person would have been in jail by today or before today. If you look at how people explain what El-Rufai has done to the society, especially Southern Kaduna, you will know that El-Rufai has scattered many places. He has demolished when he was a minister in FCT. He demolished many persons' house in FCT. That one, no one. After he go for governorship, where he go now, that one when he see opportunity, when he go take the serve even Fulani people. You see all this northern people, especially those of them where they come and can't see they need power. They are not coming out for power because they want to control or they have interest of also BC will be youth or citizen of this country. What they have interest in is the thing where we see they have interest in, their interest we see, may they just come so that they will feel they take care of the Fulanis, because them they know one and they won't make Fulani get like what this country, they won't make Fulani jihadists and many plan maybe say they care concerning this country strong for this country. That is why you see say anytime any of these people they come on them, they come out forcefully. They wanna make sure that they succumb everybody to make sure they take power, they grab power and within themselves. If to say this Tinubu now has to be, or El-Rufai is even working under him now. You know, for see the way if or in Tinubu administration, even this Tinubu administration will be seeing this shake at times. It's not as if okay, it is shaking, and the kind of insecurity when even they know like it's even better than when Buhari and all this Obasanjo we are president. So all this thing about El-Rufai, it's not today, and una will be say una won't support that is coalition. If Peter Obi know what goods for him, he should just leave them, because we have been warning him that all these guys out there, they don't have any good plan on you. So you should just take note of that. That is what we have to say. And you that just watch this video finish, if you have anything to say concerning this, make you drop your own thoughts for inside comment section. And also if today is your first time, can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you.